any recommendations for anyone who might not be familiar with the Turkish film industry?
Just go on YouTube and write my name, and you'll see some old clips from the Turkish TV. But I don't want to bore you with my 3-hour soap episode. So
you go on from doing soaps in the Turkish film industry and TV industry to competing on Love Island. So what kind of would you say motivated you to apply for Love Island?
So people would lie, or some people might know and say I got approached and all that. I didn't get approached. I applied. I just wanted to apply. I thought, you know what? I've got no luck on these dating apps. Tinder, sorry, I'm not bad-mouthing these apps. Bumble? I forgot. I forgot the name. I'm that old. Bumble, Hinge, and then there's Reva, etc. And I thought, you know what? My mum was like, you should go on Love Island and you might meet someone. I never believed her. I was like, yeah. And I didn't think I would win. Me and my manager were like, the latest I'd do is 2 weeks and then I'll be booted off because I am strange. But I wasn't there to make seasonal girlfriends. But it was cool. I really enjoyed it and ended up winning it, finding the love of my life. Someone as strange as me and quirky as me and Mediterranean as me. But yeah.
So during your time in Love Island, did you ever kind of know how well loved you were, or did the producers kind of keep it a secret?
Absolutely not. I had no idea about anything. Someone said they could see cleavage. No?
Oh, no, I think... So we've got some mics to clip on.
It's awkward.
So I think they want us to use these mics,
Clips,
so
right?
The audio is good.
That wasn't cleavage. Okay. Your question was I loved?
Did you know how well loved you were? That would be a good question. Did you know how well loved you were?
No. We weren't allowed to know what the time or the date was in the villa. This is the rules. No phones, nothing. You are in an island full of random people in bikinis and boxers, and you sleep in the same bed. And every day something happens. Every day. And it is a show. You do forget the cameras are there, but you can't be sitting on a beanbag for 5-7 hours doing nothing because no one's going to watch that on TV. So I always knew that, you've got to be yourself, but this is a show, and I'm not going to be sitting here and doing nothing. So I just tried my luck with everything and just been myself, and I didn't know I was loved. No, I thought everyone hated me for crawling on that terrace. I thought everyone hated me for doing the J scene. I genuinely believed no one liked me because no one in the villa liked me. No one. Apart from Tasha, Andrew, maybe Dami and India, and I don't believe anyone did.
No, I think that's so surprising because I think as viewers, you honestly made the season. There were kind of newspapers calling you the best reality star that's ever, kind of been on TV. So you're, extremely well loved. But I think one of the most iconic moments in that season of Love Island was your pancake contest with Natalia. Was it that tense in the moment, or did they kind of edit it down?
You have not seen anything, guys. That scene was edited. You don't see me saying, fuck you to Natalia. I was chasing her, right? I was chasing her with a wooden spatula around the villa that evening for at least an hour and a half. I am not joking you. It was really intense, and it was an actual... it was going to be a fight. I was losing myself. I was like, no, who are you? Coming here and trying to steal my man and, tell me that your pancakes are better than mine? No, Yeah, and I was shocked when I left because it looked very PG to me, what you guys saw, but, yeah, it wasn't like that.
Have you watched back Love Island since you've left?
I've not seen it all because me and Davide, we don't like watching it because... we're very in love now, and if I see Davide kissing 3 girls from Castle Rock, or if he sees me crawling on a terrace, it just creates arguments. So,
because I think you've kind of touched on this, because you mentioned how competitive some of the other girls and the boys could be on Love Island. I think one thing that was really surprising, so obviously you were 27 when you were on Love Island, which is quite young, in the real world, but on Love Island, that's considered old, because, Gemma was 19, a lot of the other girls were in their early 20s. Did you kind of ever feel that kind of gap between the other girls in the villa, or...?
Look, at heart, I'm always 12, so I was the girl that was biting the cookies and putting it back in the jar. That is not what a 27-year-old acts like. Yeah, obviously I knew I was old because I looked in the mirror and looked older than the rest. But then again, you match with people that are your age. But then, you know, I did get along with Gemma. She's 19. You know, there are people in there who are quite mature for their age, which is surprising for me because when I was 19, I was a mess. Yeah, like age, people were calling us mum and dad. We were like mum and dad in the villa, still are. Could be grandparents now, but yeah.
Do you have, like, would you say that from your experience, you think the kind of minimum age to be on Love Island should be high? Do you think it should be kind of like 23, 24?
I think, right, there is no limit to the age. I think if I went in Love Island when I was 20, I probably wouldn't be this confident. I'm not going to lie, because I was very insecure then. I do think age does play with it, but if you are that confident person at 20 or 21 and you don't care about what people think, you know who you are, then go for it. But it is a very mentally hard place to be in. You have to be strong to apply. And I'm not just saying that you have to be.
No.
Yeah.
It's
intense.
Yeah, when you watch it, it seems like a very kind of like rough place where everything's kind of filmed. And like with you and Davide, obviously you guys are falling in love with each other, and kind of we're watching that as viewers, and we're falling in love with you as you fall in love with each other. And I think one of the tough things about that kind of seems to be that when you take that relationship that kind of starts off as very public into the private sphere, it can be kind of rough because, you know, a lot of people feel like they're entitled to know everything about your relationship. Mm-hmm. How have you kind of found navigating that move into kind of the private?
I'm not going to lie, it's hard because there'll be days when I don't want to post on Instagram because before Love Island, I would post once a month. And the reality is now we're in the public eye. If I don't like my boyfriend's profile picture, people think we've broken up. Or if I'm not wearing my ring, something's happened. It's not. I'm a human being. I can live a normal life. But sometimes I do feel the pressure of the fans and the public that we have to do a picture or we have to do a story to show people we're still together or we're alive. But I try and stay as authentic to myself, and it's not easy. I think a relationship, even with if you're not famous, it should be private. You know, the more private, the better it is. You don't need to involve everyone in your relationship and know everything. Oh, I'm just going to pop to the toilet and record it on my story and let Davide watch it, and people, you know, don't need that.
Because I think you stayed so confident throughout all of Love Island, and you stayed so true to yourself and that's kind of why you won the season. And then even after Love Island as well, I think one thing that has kind of made you stand out from a lot of the other contestants is that you do what you want to do, and you're very confident in like what you like, you know who you are, right? How would you say that confidence kind of took a while to develop, or would you say that like on Love Island it kind of came to you naturally?
I think when I was young, I was always confident, and this is why I had no friends. I was literally too confident. I would be the one in school, being the teacher's friend, and like I'd randomly put my hand up and just say, "Miss, I've just felt like radiant go past me," like really weird comments, and everyone would look at me like, "She's so weird." Or like I'll just be at the class and just thinking about something else, or do you know what I mean? I was just so strange, and I don't know, I think I've just always been confident, and that's why people didn't want to be friends with me. They just didn't like that. They were like, we don't like confident people, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'll just walk away, and yeah.
Because with Dancing on Ice, and I think just being a prominent woman in television, you often get a lot of criticism about the way you look or the way you dress or the way you act, right? How do you kind of like navigate that and stay confident and not like have a breakdown because so many people on the internet might be saying mean things?
So I thought I was mentally strong for Dancing on Ice, and I still to this day think I was, but at the time, no one knows and no one will know yet, but I was going through a lot of things that one day when I write my book, you'll find out. A lot of like stuff was happening, not to do with my relationship, but work-wise, right? And I just had no voice. I couldn't speak, but I had to perform. Every week we had to learn a dance, and I think me doing Britney Spears, again, I absolutely love Britney Spears. She's an icon, she's confident. I don't see anything wrong with my costume. Again, there was dancers half naked, but no one got criticised, but I did. And it's just how it is. It's a different audience, and you can't please everyone. So,
has that kind of changed your perspective about what you kind of want to do in the future in film and television, or kind of made you more kind of determined to keep doing it in the face of kind of negative criticism?
It makes me want to do more stuff like that, to say F you. No, I'm joking. No, I think when people criticise you, it makes me stronger. I like trolls, and I like reading the Daily Mail comments because they make me so confident every day. I'm not joking, I love them. And the more negative stuff I see about myself in the press, the more I really want to be more confident. It's like a reverse psychology thing. Because people don't like confident people, and I'm sure you have experienced this in your lives with whether you do really well in your exams or someone says something, or I don't know, your hobbies, and someone says you can't do that. Jealous, maybe? Yeah.
Because with that confidence, I think, especially as like for a lot of young women in the room, like you kind of, when you're growing up, obviously there's a lot of pressure to kind of know yourself and like be in relationships and find the one. Like kind of looking back, have you like what are some tips that you might have on like dealing kind of with the pressure to be confident but also like outgoing and also like know what you want in a relationship?
It's no pressure, you just need to be yourself. Like that is all I can say. If you don't know who you are, that's something else you need to work on. And reading helps, philosophy books, psychological books, going to like just seeing a one-to-one about your life. And I think that question is, don't go looking for love, you won't find it.
That's really good advice.
If you go to a library and you bump into someone cute.
So would you say no to dating apps then, like Tinder and...
I'm not against dating apps, but I never had luck. But your best friend could be your partner, you never know. You just never know. The guy that you get along with could be your soulmate, but you're not giving it a try because you don't think he's that fit. But looks fade. It's true, looks fade, right? I was a lot youthful 10 years ago. It's a fact. And when you get older, you realise that this is more important than all of this.
Yeah. Because I would say, like, I'm 19, I would say most guys in Cambridge...
I'm sure there's
you
nice
could do
people.
better.
We got some nice, cute people here, look.
I would say, like, kind of looking back on your experience with Love Island and kind of as a contestant, would you recommend auditioning for Love Island? Like, should I go and audition for the next season?
I think we have this chat back.
Yeah.
I think you should. I think you don't have to have this pressure of looking a certain way or being blonde and big boobs, No. I was freaking... I'm not stick thing, and I went on there knowing I was in a bikini. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to find love. It's an experience. Your phone's taken off you. It's a complete different world. Anyone should apply. I don't think you need to look perfect to go on Love Island.
Do you think I could win?
If you manifest it, yes.
So one last question from me before we open it up to the audience. What can we expect to see from you next?
Anything. I'm an actual alien. Only messing. Anything. Basically, you can expect absolutely anything from me. It could be me being a director or me being in a really weird film. I like to surprise people. People always think, okay, she's quiet. What's she doing? She's not doing anything. Well, I'm doing something when I'm being quiet. I just like to surprise people differently. So my next thing could be I could be a serial killer, my love.
Can you give us any spoilers?
No. Unfortunately not.
Tough crowd. Okay, we'll open it up to audience questions now. So please raise your hand and we'll try to get a mic to you as soon as possible. Any questions?
Don't be shy, guys. It's just me.
At the front here.
We were going to ask what I was thinking about it. If you couldn't have coupled up with Davide, who would you have coupled up with from any series? You don't have to answer obviously, but like from all of the guys who've ever been on it.
I would love. I just can't imagine myself without Davide. Unfortunately, yeah, I just can't.
You're really in love.
Unfortunately, I just can't. I just can't because I feel like there is no one. I feel like Davide was matched well for me, so thank you. Anyone
right
else?
behind, in the red, yeah.
What do you think surprised you most about going on the island
That
that you didn't expect?
there's cameras in the toilets. So I couldn't go for a number 2 for 3 weeks because there are cameras and your mic is on because you are filmed 24/7.
Yes, this is the truth. No one knows, but yeah, it's intense. So you can't fake it in Love Island because they listen to you. Even when you're asleep, there are mics under the bed. Yeah, everywhere there's mics. Even by the pool, everywhere. You can't hide.
Did you ever feel that was an invasion of your privacy?
I did at first, but then I got so used to it that I started to take number 2 with the camera looking directly at me. I was like, you know what? I don't care. Everyone does the same thing, so yeah.
Yeah, over there.
Was there ever a director or a producer kind of on set, if you had a problem, you could sort of
Yeah.
pull over and be like, I don't feel comfortable with this being filmed, or was it always kind of
So, yes, there are always producers on site, but producers are there. Say if there's an argument that's happening, you're crying or someone's like stormed off, the producer will speak to you outside and try and calm you down and basically try and tell you everything's fine, you know, that person's wrong or whatever. There's always people there for you, medical-wise and psychologically, and you always have a Zoom chat every day with someone. It was called the Zoom room. Every day no one would listen to you, that you'd take your mic off and you would just explain how you feel about, for instance, if one day Davide didn't make me coffee, I would go in there and I'd be like, by the way, that beach hut is so, I thought it was confidential, I didn't know everything was aired, so I was opening up so much in there. Yeah, then I realised it was aired.
Did you ever say anything you regret?
No, I wish I said more. I wish I got even more angry at certain people in there. I think I was too nice.
At the back.
Yeah.
How did it feel when you found out that you won by like 70% of the public vote?
Really good question. Overwhelming, very overwhelming, and still can't believe it because I was the girl again that someone pushed me down the fields and chucked some urine on me. So it's like I find it hard that people like me or accepted me for who I actually was. And loads of people in my life try and put me down all the time, and it was emotional. Yeah.
At the very back.
Why you said you weren't seeing the seasonal girlfriends in the show? Do you think your attitude towards women changed throughout the show?
So the reason why I said that is because when I walked into the villa, I felt bitchy vibes. I did, I'm not going to lie. And I was a lot older than them, so I just said it straight. I'm not just that girl who's nice to you, like, hi, I'm Ekin, nice to meet you. I'm like, no, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to find someone. I'm 20, whatever, 7 then, and I'm not here to mess around. And I think loads of people got intimidated by that line, and then they had a vision of me back then. There's a scene when I think Amber was there, and I was sitting on the yellow beanbag, and all of them were basically targeting me for no reason, saying I'm strange and I'm this, and I was like, all right, clap, well done. Do you want a gold medal? Like, this is who I am. Yeah. I was just myself the whole time.
Any more? In the green shot.
Do you still like talk to the people that you were on Love Island with, or have you kind of lost touch with them over time?
I speak to, when I say I speak to, I barely even see my family because I've been so busy since I came out. I send emojis to people. I like their pictures. I don't know if that counts. No, I do speak. I speak to Tasha and Andrew. I speak to India and Dami. Sometimes I speak to Gemma. I wish her well. Luca calls us now and then. We do speak to. I'm not super close with Casa Amor or all those other people. Yeah.
In the white shirt.
Oh, thank you. Apart from the top a bit loose.
What is your biggest pet peeve of Davide?
Okay, so my favourite thing about Davide is there's a lot of things. The fact that we're very similar. We are the same person, literally the same person. We think about the same things. We like the same things. When we argue in the same style. Everything is the same. I don't know if there's a bad thing. I think when you really, really love someone, the flaws become beautiful to you. So I generally can't think of anything. Maybe when when we leave stuff in the kitchen and stuff like that, normal couple stuff. But yeah.
Right at the back with your hand raised.
You sort of acknowledged that being in that environment was difficult for you with the microphones and everything, and I kind of wonder, did you feel taken care of, like by the producers, etc.? Like, did you feel like you were in a safe environment or if something went wrong? And how much aftercare did they provide to you? And like, what's your general view on like reality television, mental health support? Like, do you think there should be more of it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've got enough?
Good question. I'm going to be really honest. There was more support from the producers than the people in the island, put it that way. So the producers really had my back when I was bullied or I felt I couldn't speak to anyone. They were my friends, they are always there for you. Medical, even if I had a little cut on my finger, the medic will come in an hour and put plaster on it and then check in an hour to see if your finger's okay. Like, the aftercare is a lot, and that is a lie when people say mental health, there's not enough out there. I see a psych every week provided by Love Island, and it's been almost a year, right? They pay for it, but I need it. You have to have help because you have fame in one night and your whole life changes and trolls, and it's not easy. Everyone knows everything about you and it can get very mentally hard. So yeah, there is help out there. Yeah.
Right at the front.
If you could start like your whole career, everything all over again, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would do differently?
I don't think I've ever had regrets in my life, because if I had regrets in my life, I wouldn't be where I am now. I like making mistakes because I learn from them. So yeah.
Right behind.
I feel like your life now seems incredible, and it feels like you just have so many opportunities, and it looks like you have quite a few dreams as well. And I was wondering, like, was the younger you, would younger you ever have predicted that for yourself? Was it like younger you knew that this would have been a life you
So the younger me always wanted to be famous. I'm not gonna lie. I always had this thing. My mum said I was crazy. Like, I would walk around with lipstick when I was like 6 with massive glasses and pretend there's paps taking pictures of me, like, don't take me, I'm famous. Like, pretend to sign autographs. Like, I always had that because I wanted to be an actress, and my vision was not to be obviously famous from Love Island, but to be a really successful actress and be known for that. Obviously, fame comes from this, but I didn't know I was going to win. But now I'm trying to not step away from Love Island, but okay, I've done that now. Moving on to the next thing, the real thing, who I am, yeah.
Right at the very back in the purple.
Do you think that you want to go back to acting?
Yes. I'm acting now. No. Yeah, I will. Well, we've got some meetings lined up in LA, and it is a tough industry. Even my mum jokes about it, saying, you're old for it now. And I'm like, I'm really not mum. I could still play someone's mum or grandma. Yeah, of course I will. That's the main thing I'm going to head at. Because I'm not an influencer. I repeat, I'm not an influencer, and I'm not good on social media, and I'm not good on TikToks. And I can admit this. And I've had so many fans when I left, like, oh my God, Ekin's slacking on TikTok, or like, she's so bad on Instagram, her captions are awkward. And I'm like, well, because I'm not Molly May, and I never will be Molly May. Molly May is her, and I'm Ekin-Su, you know what I mean?
Right at the front here.
You obviously just said you wanted to go into acting. Would you rather do television or like film or both? Like, what's next on the agenda for you?
For me, TV and television is all the same. I would try and come away from reality TV as much as I can. Although I was on a show, I would try and do more like TV, films, soaps, theatre maybe. Documentaries could be. Presenting? Yeah, anything like that.
In the middle, in the denim jacket.
Good question. I get it every day, right? I get it on Instagram. If I don't want to look at Instagram, I get it on other things. I get people on the road maybe whispering things, or as much as they love me, there is haters out there. And there's always like these 1 or 2 Instagram accounts that I keep blocking and then making a new account and trolling me. But some of them can be really smart, so they can act like they're your fan, say lovely things about you, then they can go on to, for instance, Davide's account and then bitch about me to Davide, saying you should leave Ekin because of this. It's the same person. So you just need to ignore it as much as it's hard. Sometimes I want to tweet whatever I want to tweet. I've done that mistake. I've tweeted to someone and it went viral. What did I do? I made him famous, or her famous, by mentioning their name on a Twitter, and it went viral. People use clout chasers all the time. Again, it's hard. I'm a person. I'm very fiery. If someone pisses me off, I want to tweet how I feel, but I can't do that anymore. Can't be how I used to be. So things have changed now, and I deal with hate as a compliment. Yeah.
I think we might do 2 more questions. So we'll go in the second row in the denim.
Do you think that Love Island is problematic in the sense that, like, it has double standards, that it presents like the image of women having to compete with each other and like fighting for one man, rather than like we all see like the roles as like this group of friends while all these women like fight for them?
You know, that's cool. I don't you think the real world's like that though? I feel like there's always the one good guy that everyone wants. But I feel like Love Island is such a format where it's not real. Like you get a text, there's a challenge, it's all kind of formatted. It's an illusion. But I think Love Island is very highlighted with your emotions that if you really like someone and you know another girl called Sarah likes the same guy, and Sarah's not making a move, you shouldn't sit back and think, oh, I'm going to be rude now and I'm going to disrespect Sarah. No, Sarah's not my friend. I'm going to speak to this guy because I don't have time in here. And this guy could be my man of my dreams, or you never know, or might not be. You don't know until you try. And I feel like even at jobs, when you want to interview for a job, right, you really want that role, but then someone else gets it for the same job. Life is always a battlefield. There's a song, I think, yeah.
We'll do the last question. Do you want to pick the last question?
I want to do them all. I love it here. Yeah. Yes.
So obviously, like you're growing up and you're seeing all these like films and knowing you wanted to be an actress. And I was wondering if you had any like main influences.
Sorry, influence.
If you had like any main influences.
Oh. I've watched, I love the film 13 Going on 30. I've seen it 5,075 times. I don't know, I just like, I think I'm a huge fan of Emma Watson. I like actresses who are clever, smart. Yeah. Next question.
One last question from me before we finish. Okay. So obviously a lot of us are kind of in like a transitional stage of our lives where we're kind of going from being like teenagers to adults, and like having a lot of coming of age kind of stories. If you could, from your experiences and having gone through like a large chunk of your life, would you say that like if you could give us 3 kind of tips in terms of love, relationships, life, what would they be?
Love is linked to yourself. So I think you need to love yourself to love someone else. And that happens with time. And you're all at such a beautiful age right now. I feel, I'm going to say it again, old. I am. Where I would die to be your age. When I was 20, 19, 21, I really wanted the years to speed up. And I just wanted to get that job and get out of uni. And no, I want to go back to uni. Uni was the best time of my life. And you should work hard, you should study, but you should also have fun as well and make memories. And what was the other one? Life.
Love, life,
love is just you have to love yourself to find someone else. Don't go looking for love. And if you want to apply for Love Island, do it, but don't pretend to be someone. Be yourself. Be weird on there. They like weird people. Yeah, you never know. And you don't have to look like a model or Barbie model to go on there either. That's not true, because I don't.
Thank you so much. That's really nice. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here with us. Please give Ekin a big round of applause.
I want to stay here.
You can stay if you want.
No, I want to be a student. Should we go to your lectures now? Take me. Okay, thank you for
so
having
much.
me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.